Hello guys, this is Afric Trails. And this is our trip to the Cape Coast Castle. This documentary highlights the toil and struggle of our fathers during the slave trade. A sad artist was. He took popcorns. So let's take the ride.
So we are right here at our next stop, which is the Cape Coast Castle, where we are going to learn more about our culture, our history, and our heritage. Take a step back in time with us as we uncover the secret of the past.
Right on top of this area was a church. And the name given to the church, Society for the Propagation of the Gospel, SPG. And you see where we started the tour, that was where Methodist Church of Ghana began. Roman Catholic Church and the Castle. Friendly Church of Ghana, the castle in Accra. So Christianity in Ghana, where did it start? And then so here we don't judge, because the one who introduced you the Bible goes to church 7 a.m. by 9 a.m. is closed, 2 hours. You and I will go to church 7 a.m. At what time do we leave the church premises? 6 p.m. And you want to judge them? And you want to judge them?
Viewers' discretion though. Upcoming scenes are very emotional and sad. Gives in-depth analysis of the struggles and pains they went through. They're sad, authentic.
My dear brothers and sisters, this is not a female dungeon. It's very close here, but then end of the town. So the women came out from their end and joined the men with you. This was the first door of no return. And the directional map of the castle, number 17, out to canoe that rode them to the bigger ships and off to the various destinations. Later, the same English chose this side on the basis that sometime when the sea water was very rough, and they were transporting our ancestors to the bigger ships, heavy waves capsized canoes, already in shackles. How do you swim? For the ladies who said no to sex, no to rape, gate lock, iron bar, brand, food, water, this way.
Being subjected to this style of living, I wish not to inform my worst enemy.
2 separate dungeons for the female counterpart. 150 or more in this room, same number. That's like me. And throughout the period that is staying in the dungeons, neither the male nor the female wash down. The problems compounded. So you see the gravity of the situation. A day or two no shower and you don't know what to do. 4 people in a room today, we are overcrowded. I need my privacy. Once they selected you, they will have you washed down at the shop. And then one assistant bath you before you move to the bedroom. So we need to celebrate each and every one of them who survived the journey. It was not a joke. Hey, we were extremely strong. And the mandatory 28-day cycle that you need control, it will come. What do you do? It's a natural phenomenon. You can't control it.
Imagine our females going through their monthly cycle and not washing down for almost a year.
Here, no food, no water, no light, no medicine, so we followed it. So there was a distinction between a dungeon and a cell.
For what's crime?
Over here, the men who were often on records would use the shackles to whack the face of the officer, strangle the neck, in an attempt to free themselves. They said it was trouble. 3 days ago, he fought Officer A, yesterday, Officer B, and just now, another officer. You were a thorn in their flesh. They could have shot you dead, boom, but no, they preferred to touch you. So the rough surfaces you see on the wall are made by these rough surfaces supposed to be sealed as the carbon plastic. Watch your head.
The scratch on the wall was bit out of the tin and agony, the wenstrel. Being subjected to stoots out darkness, no food no water, and left to your feet to die.
My dear brothers and sisters, Palava Hall we call it, and that has been the name since. And this was where the buying and selling of the enslaved Africans later held. So if you were brought from Tamale, Yendi, Sisala, Salaga, in a similar fashion, company A, B, C, D, behind each of them were their respective doctors. And I've managed to take 2 strong 5 like this. And your doctor examines them, advise you to buy. And you wanted to pay me 1 for 2,000 cedis. I'll tell you no, but for the gang, only 2 of them would have strangled me dead in the book in an attempt to capture them. So your 2,000, I will not take it. But you insisted 2,000, next says 4,000. I will ignore you, go to the 4,000. You were not happy, attacking her. And just as she was ready to give you the 4,000, he says 6,000. Who wins? 6. So Palava means trouble, noise, confusion, misunderstanding. So much cacophony of men. Created by themselves, their actions and inactions influence them to live the area as such. So from here that they took them to the courtyard, hot iron metal from fire iron. And then the political aspect. This was where the bomb of 1844 was signed. Which English later corrupted it to mean colonization. But that treaty was actually meant that the English were going to protect the coastal areas from the Ashanti invasion. Those that Ashanti didn't want to accept the British government until the Ghana War in 1874 and the Ashanti War. But the first 2 wars, Battle of Samanko and Katamanso, Ghana is not a guarantee. But our first era didn't pronounce the new one. And so Granite Wesley. That's the full name. Nobody said guarantee was 1874. But Battle of Samanko, Sir Charles McCarthy, he sent danger fighting Ashanti and he shot himself dead. The Ashanti said dead or alive. Cut off the head. 2 years later, the English fought the Ashantis again. Ashanti defeated the English at Katamanso. So almost 15 years later, they got in Sir Garnet Wesley, and he defeated the Ashantis. The Ashantis said, no, we will not accept British government until Yas and Tua and Adina Brembe were taken to exile. Elimina Castle, Sierra Leone, and finally Seychelles Islands. So the 100 years was there, 1844 to 1944. 45, 46, the English were still colonizing, and then we started agitating for self-governance. So the first political party made VGCC, and then Kwame Nkrumah later broke away and established CP. And instead of 100 years, it traveled to 113 years, 6th of March 1957. So dear brothers and sisters, this is the story. So sad, but it has become part of our history. As I said, it's a prayer. We always say that yes, mistakes, do not repeat them. And they should rather guide us and teach us who we know. Elimina is to Don Iago de Azamuja Portuguese, 1482. Right, 1482. Christian one in Accra, the day 1661. Just famous as Cape Coast Castle, Robert Holmes, 1604. And all the 14 castles designated World Heritage Sites according to UNESCO. He continued with the judicial cases here by John McLean. So later, officers named the area after him as McLean's. That was the room Letitia Elizabeth was found dead.
Who was Letitia? She plays a crucial role in the story going forward.
House by virtue of his father's role here, one reverend minister from the church. So my Thomason conferred with the merchant that he needed support because he may not be available all the time to preach the word of God. So Philip Thomas William joined 3. 4 years in England, the latter two died, and the former he survived, attended the school at Oxford on the 17th day of May 1765. He was ordained priest, he received ordination, came back to the castle to continue with the evangelism drive. 1816, he died at 75 and was buried this way. The top among the 3, soldier man C.B. Whiting, shot dead when the Dutch English were still fighting on one land 38 years. And this was the man called McLean who spearheaded the closure of the camp. After 17 years in the castle, he died of malaria attack, age 46. When he was on duty, the wife Letitia Elizabeth London paid a visit to the dear husband, only for Letitia to see that McLean had another woman to his side. So Letitia felt insecure. And 2 months later, she was found dead in one of the rooms up there. Oh, the door is shut. I would have shown. And around here was a cup of liquid. They took it to the lab, and it was poison. So it meant she poisoned herself out of jealousy. Second group, she died 9 years before the husband died. Second group said Ellen and McLean would die to eliminate. Third group said yellow fever malaria was possible, as they named the West Coast of Africa as a white man's graveyard. And now, barely 2 months ago, I read a literature about her, an English author, Lancaster Miller, and the title of the book, L.E.L. Chapter 1, paragraph 2 of page 11, stated that Letitia London died of epilepsy. According to the friend Doris, she had 3 children before getting married to McLean: Laura, Fred, and Emma. So as we speak, Philip old 875, C.B. White had gunshot 38, George McLean malaria 46, Letitia Elizabeth London 36 years of age, and she died of yellow fever, malaria, suicide, poison, yellow sea, and epilepsy. So anyone that you chose, you are correct. The religious people were here. Bring me one. Give me one of your phones. The religious people were here. What were they preaching? My sister, you bought this phone this morning, granted $200. Right? This morning. I want to buy it now. How much will you sell it to you?
Outside, unless you are selling.
You bought it just this morning. How much will you sell it to? You bought it $200, $250.
Yeah.
So 25% increase, right? In economic sense, it makes sense, but morally wrong. less than 24 hours. You want to add something to it. So, up there was religion. Underneath, and you don't combine business with religion. Hey, my church members, you take it, my church member, will you stay in business? So not that they didn't have conscience. And so they didn't want to add religion to business. You get it? So thank you very much. So, but today you read the Bible more than those who gave it to you.
So that was at the same time. The chapel was up here when the slaves were down there.
Exactly. That's why I gave that analogy. Religion, different, and then need business. If you combine the two, you stay out of business.
Did anybody speak out? Did anybody speak out and say that is a fraud?
That was what Filippo did. And they tag him an ingrate, selfish. From whose purse did he get the education? When you were the better. Though at age 11 they took you there. Now, 24, 25 years, you could read in between the lines. Then he started attacking them. They transfer here, the day they transfer this. Later they stopped paying him his salary for speaking out against whatever was going on. So he died here with a salary arrest of £369 sterling, yet to be paid 209 years ago. £369 sterling. Do the calculation. You know how much money is there? The weapons there, not for the beautification of the castle, no. Cannon balls, mortar balls. The English telling them that, hey, we are the English, we are in control, don't come here, as if you do, we bomb you. That's the message. So they use them to drive away the French, the Danes, the Dutch. Launch serious attack. So that is it. Per the number, as I said, this is a water system. In the morning, men here, women this week. Same in the evening. And you know, when they were being fed here, only the janitor covered, excuse me, open. So officer will be on the arch test, choose and select. If you choose to go to the store, what of the head is back, up there, rape after rape, back to the up there, if you look at the young, you elbow you, one top of it. They are the punishment said they will keep you. You will get there. If you delay in a cell too, they will force you to carry one of these black balls. 20 to 30 kilograms each. So you eventually had to say yes to the no. So later some of them got pregnant and some became their concubines, stayed, washed, cooked for them. And those children were named mostly after European names. My good friend, please come. If my brother here says his name is Ikechu, what comes into your mind? Okay, as it come. Chioma is a name from where?
Nigeria.
Na Ayele, Ghana Accra, Oko, Ewenam, Bawisi, Mani Muatima, Tromantin. Okay. She is Jessica Smith. From where? Still a problem. I would say Australia. Well, we all don't know. We are conjecturing. But when I said Chioma, quickly, Nigeria. So you lose that identity. William Brown. We know he's a European, but we don't know his country of origin. So we love that line. If they baptize us to Christian faith, Paul, Peter, John, Joseph, Mark, Benjamin, Isaac, Deborah, Esther, Rebecca, Elizabeth, Naomi, or Ruth. So your Chioma, your Chiramantin, your those names. The then garrison or the barracks This was it. 2 soldiers to each room at a time. Today we have Bia Champon, Techiman South, Stay Beyond Gallery, Bongo, Aligli, and the rest. After the tour, you can pass by and possibly buy something home as souvenir. Immediate out, we have the Anglican Church, cream color Methodist Church this way, far end with a cross Roman Catholic Church. See them?
The door of no return. As the name says, once true, you are never to return again.
So big gates at a time, chains are running and exits made very narrow, too small. You will have to bend down. That is before you go out. In Jamaica, North, South Carolina, Virginia, Trinidad, and Barbados, and just to mention but a few. Brazil received the largest number in terms of population as a nation. And by the parting of the trade, Europe, Africa, America, Caribbean, back to Europe, it was like a triangle. So they call it triangular. Let's see outside the world.
Once you are through this door, there is no going back. That is it. That is all for you. It's about time we pay serious respect to our forefathers. This is no joke, for real. This is no joke.
This was the sea level in front of the stairs. The original stairs sat in a canoe, rowed them to the bigger ship, off they went. And Tuesdays, fishermen along the coast of Ghana, no fishing, traditional statutory holiday. Do you go to work on Sundays? That's your holiday, right? Fishermen, they have Tuesday. Do you go for lectures on Sundays? You rest, your professors also take rest. My village Thursday, we don't go to farm. Holiday. In the wisdom of our ancestors, they say pick one day of the 7 and rest. So, straight to the canoe, to make shape off the go. The breakwaters or sea defense is after COVID. Alright? From far and near, after our visit, we'll go back to our countries of origin, homes or in offices. So we have the door of return. Or you stay here till the kingdom come. So the door of return is not meant for the diasporans alone, it is for every one of us here. There are conferences, seminars, workshops may take you to different destinations. After those activities, remember your route and get back.
Sorry?
Even if you're a job. Home sweet home, right? So 2 skeletons of African descent were brought from Jamaica and New York in 1998 to symbolically represent the millions of people that were enslaved. Madam Crystal and Samuel Castle, Jamaican American, a lawyer, army officer, respectively. His bones exhumed, flew them from New York to Accra by road to a fishing village we call Abanzi. When you were coming to the castle this afternoon, how many of you saw Fort Amsterdam to the left side? Your colleagues, they were having a nap. They didn't see. It's not far away from me. That fort was actually built by English. Fort Amsterdam is the name today because the Dutch bought them there. So they came by this same Atlantic Ocean and right at those spots, casket of crystal cousin lay, traditional prayer said, and then usher them in, change the narrative of no return to return. The law of return is us. When you go back to your country tomorrow, speaking of your family members, relatives, friends, you should first of all welcome him before they interrogate you that whether Africans live on you.
Many thanks to our tour guide. And funny enough, we never caught his name, but he did a very good job. This documentary was brought to you by Afrik Trails, an original produced by Kobe Ken. Afrik Trails is a tour company that specializes in trips around the globe. Follow our social media pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more contents like this.